I'm gonna just get this out there right now. How about them Cowboys? I know that ain't got nothing to do with.
I'm about to. Are you a Cowboys fan?
Heck yeah.
Oh, you
Don't
from
do
Long
that to
Island,
me.
so you confused. I understand.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But no, it's gonna be more serious once.
Oh, I got you. But you know what? It's okay to joke and laugh still, because that's what life's about. We are not defined by our experiences.
But I'm gonna get a little emotional for a second. Show my little weak side for a second.
Oh God.
And I did pass the book on to my cousin, who's also a Delta, so she gonna read it too.
Okay, I'm trying to fix up where my light's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah, I tried to set up as best as I can. I gotta use my phone, so
you gotta use what?
My phone, my laptop ain't working, so.
Oh.
But it is what it is. As long as I have something adaptive. Let me put that out. And also, I got a little wine for you.
Oh Lord, no! After this, I'm getting on my Peloton. So
no, that's all I got.
No, you go ahead, girl. Do your thing. I've now created a schedule for myself that kind of helps me with my PTSD, where I'm like, I'm not strict to it, but if I don't do some sort of guidelines, I'm gonna be all over the place every day.
No, I get it. That's why I kind of stay around the crib, because I'm like, I get out in the public, I might get to doing too much.
Oh no,
I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get things started, and then we can start talking about these tears. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Kim from the Patio with Kim, and today my company is Author, retired United States Air Force veteran, and Soror of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Nicky Brown. Her book is called These Tears Don't Go With My Combat Boots. I have read it. It is a wonderful read. You need to get it.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You have any shout outs? You have anyone you want to say hey to before we get started?
Yes. Before I even get started, of course, thank God for even this platform today, as well as the confidence and motivation, put the words on the paper. I want to do a quick shout out to the person that helped me through the process. She's called Scribe Coach. Her name is Linda James. There's no way I could have from cover to cover write the words in the book without her.
Well, thank you for helping, and bless. So I want to let my ear hustlers know Y'all need to get in on this conversation. Listen, it's going to be great. Participate in the chat if you want. And so, how about you start off with telling everybody about this book and about yourself?
So the book is about a woman who was in the military. She's a wife, a mother, a career woman. She established her career about 10, 12 years as a Marine, and she started going through some things. And those things set a tone for her relationship as well as personally. It is based on my life. The names in the book are not the names of my life. Take the guilty, as well as the innocent. It wasn't until I retired years later where I was diagnosed with military trauma, PTSD. I realized that I needed to make some changes in my life. And after going through intensive therapy, I still needed one more aspect, and that was me to kind of close the book to that chapter of my life. Because sometimes we stay trapped in the trauma and we never see life the way it should be. And my son graduated from college, and that was the moment where I was like, okay, we good. I can put this on paper. He's strong enough. He told me he's strong enough. That's what I did. And it was the most releasing thing.
Oh, excuse me.
Huh?
That's actually an answer to one of my questions already. Thank you.
It was the most releasing thing that I could have ever done. So releasing that after I decided to write the book and went on a journey, I started cutting detachments that were no longer serving me. And I'll have to be honest, it was just it's the most freeing thing ever to like release yourself to someone. That's what that book is about.
Okay.
And it's my hope that the book allows others to release whatever it is that they're going through, as well as, be beneficial to people that may know some other people that are going through things. I know the cover makes it sound like it's all about military, but it's not. The topic transcends occupation. The cover is really a metaphor, me going through this thing in life and treading in the dirt. You see the cover, one boot has the dog tags, because that's the war I was in, right? That was part of my life. And the other boot has a thing that signifies my soft side. So the book kind of shows the balance that I try to have. So yeah, so that's about it. That's my story.
I mean, they share some very raw and honest and traumatic experiences, and they also shares some great ones. The hardest part, I know I would see, is putting it to paper. Which part of it was the hardest for you to write?
There's a chapter where I actually talk about the trauma itself. And I will say that most of the book kind of flowed for me, but when I got to the actual incident that kind of put me in a different trajectory of my life, that took about a month. My scribe coach had to put her foot up my butt, so to speak. But I got through it, and I'm done with it. So yeah.
That's great. So, were there any moments that or affect strain of after you had to leave? The toll that it may have taken on not just you but also your son. That's a lot to have to deal with at the
Yeah.
aftermath.
Yeah. So um, my son knew his dad his whole life, right? So I was married, and when I made the decision to leave, um, my son did have some changes. He went through. He was a very respectful young man. He never really talked about his feelings, so to speak, but I knew that in time he would go through some things. I just make sure that I had what I thought were good male role models around him to see the things that I didn't see, or sometimes as parents we react to things that are not really there.
Right.
And so I just had a great support system during that time. As far as myself, the way it affected me, I would have to be honest and say that dating wasn't bad for me. I just couldn't do it more than 6 months because it felt like it was going to be permanent. And I think in my mind, I was like, I don't want anyone to ever make me feel trapped again. I don't want anyone to be controlling again. And so I never allowed myself to love or someone to love me. At the time, I just took it as, I'm an introvert. I can't do this. But it wasn't until later, way later, when the psychologist said, so you have a form of PTSD. And I was like, normally we talk about that when it comes to war or things happening to superior people. But we don't talk about if you're married to the person. And so that was the releasing thing for me. And I think once I had a label on it and was able to move and say, okay, I've got this piece, so now how do I live with it? At the time, I'm like, I don't like going out. I don't really like making new friends. These are all aspects of PTSD, but I just didn't know it at the time. But now that I do, there are steps that I do to ensure that I'm living a healthy life. But it definitely changed me.
Right. No, I can understand. I mean, I wasn't married, but I can understand the other stuff. And that's the thing. I knew you during some of the time, I believe, but I couldn't tell. I wasn't married, so I was like, oh, that's just normal marriage stuff. And then when we stayed, he wasn't there, so it was a comfortable setting. So I just thought y'all was perfect.
Right. But when we knew each other during that time when we were stationed in England together, that's not when the incident happened.
No, I know that.
Yeah. But if I'm honest with myself, not that I could predict that was going to happen, right?
Right.
But there were definitely things that I could look back and say, he was narcissistic at the time, very controlling. If I look at my friends were his friends. I just, you know what I mean? You are probably the outlier of everyone that wasn't a cop. Because, we were in a certain, how should I say?
You were in a hostile environment.
Right. So we have some marital challenges, but again, like you said, I just thought they were normal. And so, like, years later, I'm like, I'm listening to people and they're in marriages and things that go through. I'm like, what I was going through wasn't normal. You know what I mean? You don't know what normal is. Especially being in the military, you just don't know what normal is. There's no such thing as normal. You just live.
And see, when I was in the military, I got to screen all the records when people got there.
Right.
So I would see certain things and be like, "Oh hell no! How they get in here? How they get in here for that?" So it's also, when people read it, they have to read it as a person and not as a military member, because you're still a person in the military. You just wear the uniform and say your oath for everything you're willing to do, but that person doesn't change just because they were in.
No, you're right. But the person that I was with, the thing about narcissists, they're very good at hiding things. You know what I mean? That you're not going to see on paper.
Right.
Like that person is the best person in the world in front of everyone. But behind closed doors, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't even explain some of the things that were going on. I call it like the house of horror for a little bit. But when you start growing and you be around people that are positive, you start seeing things for what it is. You're like, this is not how I want to live my life.
Right. You be like, wait a minute. I need to switch some stuff up here because I know I can be here.
Right.
I need to motivate myself. Yeah.
Right. You gotta look in the mirror. I started looking in the mirror. I'm like, man, I'm fine. What am I doing?
Right. I had to start doing that too, because it was a tanker for a second. But
I understand.
Okay, so there's a portion of the book where it was alluded like you had an affair too after he did. So was that also a factor in when you decided that the marriage was over?
No. That's a good question. I know people say that, like, when you go into a relationship, that's it helped, but you still have choices, right? I think the incidents that you're talking about, the first one that you see in the book, Yolanda should have left at that point. But as Black and brown women in the military, who do you talk to when you're going through those things, right?
We were the generation of say it, you're persecuted. So
you're stronger than your other counterparts. If you show any weaknesses, even though other people that are not as you going through the same thing, at that time, they were given the freedom to go to counseling, go talk to people. But for us, it was almost, okay, there we go. That's that discriminating we're looking for. Now we cannot validate the things that she wants to accomplish. She got this thing going on, so now she can't do it. So what do you do? Right?
And especially when it follows.
Right, it does. Because, people are making phone calls letting the next person know, move from duty station to duty station, and people making phone calls. Okay, so how is that person really? How is their attitude? How easy would it have been to say, well, they are going through this thing, and I don't know if she's going, you know what I mean? But also, big picture for me, it's the shame of it all, right? Because I am a strong person. I displayed this strength, but inside I'm really weak.
Right.
And
it's the feminine.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that? I'm, for the most part, in every environment, male dominated. Who am I talking to?
Right.
So
you have the females that
although the eluded affair, you know, one can say after reading it, well deserved, or I can understand, but it's so much more than that. It's so
It
much.
does seem like y'all formed a strong bond. Like after I read it, I was surprised that person wasn't your person.
That person was going to be the person, but you have to read the book to figure out why that person did not become the person.
Okay. So I'm gonna lighten the mood again.
Okay.
So would you have like an impacting, inspirational word or motivational type something that you could pass on if you were younger, or even to the people now that may be on the fence about writing something personal and getting it out to the masses?
Okay. I have to be honest, when I first started writing, it wasn't about me putting it together. Again, it was about release. And then what I was doing was sending each chapter to have two sorority sisters that lived in different parts of the United States. And I sent them the chapters just to read, because they don't know this part. Like, you didn't know, no one knew this part of my life.
Right.
So this was like a what happened to you? I didn't know that. You smiling and laughing, you living your best life.
I read the whole book when I got it. I read the whole. I was like, oh no, I gotta keep reading this because I don't remember none of this. I didn't realize he was like that.
Right. And I'm talking about family. I'm talking about close circle. No one knew. That's why I say it was a release. It was like a lever that just let go of everything that I've ever had locked up in me. But if I can give a word that would help anyone, like I said to you earlier, is the things you go through, the trauma you go through, that's your testimony. That doesn't define who you are as a person. Will it be hard to find that silver lining? Absolutely. Let's be clear. It is 2023. That book was written last year. I, or Yolanda, left that person in 2006. So this has been a journey for me. That book that I wrote last year, I'm hoping doesn't allow anyone else to take that long to figure out their changes that you need to do for you.
Right. Because they have programs and stuff in place now, but what they have available in the after effect, as far as like when you get out of the situation or you move on from that job, they're not the greatest quality. It all depends on where you live. Like for me, I'm not at the VA. I go to community.
Right.
Because they can't keep nobody.
Right. Well, I'll be honest. Kim. I didn't go anywhere. I found out about it, right? And then the pandemic happened, right? So I've got this diagnosis, and then they said I can go seek treatment, or start working my way back to being healthy. And then the pandemic happens. That's when I found out there are a lot of resources you can do online. And I'm not talking about stepping in. I'm talking about which kind of benefited me, because I don't know if I would have sat in the circle or talking to someone, or the one-on-one. I don't know if I would have just felt like that. But to do it virtually and to listen to other stories. Sometimes we think we're the only ones going through something. And when you listen to the person you're right as you left, you like,
I know, you just sitting there crying like, what am I bitching for? This mother right here.
Right.
that's that person's story.
Right, right. But they are in there too,
Right.
trying to get better. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So, it took. Let me see. When did I get that diagnosis? 2020. The year before last is when I said, okay, I'm gonna write this.
okay.
So during that time, it was one-on-one counseling virtually, it was group counseling, it was I had a telephone counseling. It was intentional.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't like the doctor said, go do this. This was something that I wanted to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew, because now my son is out the house, right? And I don't have this job, and I'm just sitting in the corner, and I'm like, I do want someone in my life,
Right.
but in order for someone to be in my life, I have to figure out me, what makes me happy, in a healthy way. Because I had it in my mind that I don't want someone to complete me. I want whomever I'm with that we add to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not depending on him for happiness or love, you know. And it was a long road.
I'm still going through my road. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm still going through my road, but I'm getting better every year. So
That's all we can do is keep working.
I started doing my journaling again finally, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, will you? Are there any other experiences or topics you'll be writing in the future?
So, in certain, I've had several people either call me or text me and ask me, was I going to do an interview? And at the time, I'm not, because the book wasn't supposed to be a series of events. It was to be what it is. And I said, if anyone wanted me to continue the conversation, ask me questions, I'll come to a book club, or I'll do a virtual wine thing or conversation on a podcast. But the book was to put a period on that part of my life.
Okay.
My next venture, I'm actually flipping the script a little bit. Something more fun. I'm actually starting my first children's book. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. More to come, probably sometime next year. But I am diligently working right now. You know how I am. I'm just gonna pop up on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things because I stopped everything. And when I stopped everything, I mean everything. So my motivation is like everything around the house, sure. Anything outside the house, what you need.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to find that inspiration, right? You gotta, get out the house, go on vacation. You gotta, sometimes do nothing and then be inspired. If I'm to be honest, this book that I finished, it allowed my creativity to come back. I've always been a writer. My mom had to actually remind me of that. She's like, I don't know why you think this is a new thing. You've always been writing. She had to remind me of that. But sometimes when we go through things in life, we forget the things that made us happy, the things that got our creative juices going. And so now I'm on that path right now, more fun things. I will do another adult book, but I kind of want to just concentrate on this.
Okay.
I do have an idea in mind, but I need to sit on it for a minute.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with that book.
Know when you know. So, ooh,
Yo, okay, girl. That wine is good, huh?
That wine almost spilled. And I ain't even drinking it. I took a few sips. That's it. Well, that's really, everything I wanted to talk about. If there's anything else you want to impart on or anyone you want to shout out, now it's time to do it.
I have. So let me tell you, I'm actually a part of a creative family as is. You know, my mom is singing. I have my little sister, Savvy, singer. I have a sister that she acts on TV. Her name is Deb. She's done several movies. And then I have my sister, Tasha, and she's a podcaster as well. Yeah, so it's a family full of creatives. And so I want to give them all a shout out. And just all the people that I am so thankful that wanted to read the book. You know, I feel so blessed. Last year, was it last year or this year? No, this year. I said that I want to sell 100 books by the end of the year. That's what I said. And so far, we are approaching 250.
That's what's up.
And I feel so blessed that somebody wants to read it. But the beautiful thing is when the word of mouth, when someone else says that touched them or made them say that they need to give this book to someone else, that's the blessing for me. I want to be clear, the book was never about revenue. The book was just me to say, okay, well, let me put it out and see what happens. My scribe coach, James, said, I need you to know that this book is the start of ministry. And I was like, well, I don't know about that, but we'll see. But I understand now as ministry, meaning touching people beyond your imagination.
Okay. I know it touched me. I know it touched me. I was sitting there crying like a little baby.
I appreciate it.
So I had to pass it on. It just a lot of it resonated with stuff that you didn't know about me. So yeah, I had to pass it on to family that I knew could use the read.
You know, the thing about us as minorities, and I think we're getting better. I think we're getting better about talking about mental health. That's what it's about. It's not about the trauma itself. It's about how do we mentally and emotionally continue to grow and not be stagnant in that trauma. You know, holding on to it. And every person that we meet, not looking at them as that person that did this thing. Allowing the light to shine again. You know, I think that's the hard thing. You know, but I think we're getting better at it. And having conversations like this, you using your platform allows for that mental and emotional healing that it's a deep conversation. You know what I mean? It can't be glamour and drinking cocktails and talking about what men do to us and what women do to us. So talking about the hard things, and I appreciate you allowing me to be on this platform to talk about it.
Well, I thank you. I thank you for coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Okay.
I believe we can still talk afterwards.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? I'm glad y'all tuned in to the patio with King. I'm glad my special guest, Nicky Brown, who wrote. Let me see if I can put it up.
It's upside down.
These boots don't go. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Don't go with my combat boots. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah. So if you want to purchase it, if you want to purchase it for a friend or for yourself, you can go to www.nickynarrative.com. But move it over. So they can get the, you can go to www.nickynarratives.com.
And then I'm not sure if you can scan it, but if you
but if anyone needs it, I can send it.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is my time, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Until next time, we gonna see you.